Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Sunday night Action Sports Jax Primetime. Brent Martineau here with some new members of the defense right next to me. Not big names, but hopefully guys who can help plug holes and make the defense a bit better this year. More on Schobert coming up in just a minute, because the Jaguars also added a big fella on the defensive line, Rodney Gunter, 6'5", 305-pounder who can play inside or on the edge. He was with the Arizona Cardinals last year, and he's got a tough task because he kind of has to help replace the outgoing Calais Campbell. Then longtime Cincinnati Bengal Darqueze Dennard will try to earn a starting spot on the outside at corner for the Jags this year. He usually plays the slot, that nickel position. He's going to try to compete on the outside. Doug Marrone with Jaguars.com had these comments about these guys.
You know, when you can get a player like Joe in, who's a true middle linebacker and has played the position, played it at a high level, is really going to help us, not just in the one position at the Mike position, but obviously we're going to get better play, from Miles moving to a more natural position, which is Will. We looked at Dennard, and even though that he's, a lot of people have labeled him, a guy that's a nickel. We already have a nickel in DJ Hayden that we love. So, when we talked to Dennard, we're like, hey, listen, we want you to come here on the outside, and that's what he wants to do. We were watching, Rodney, we're like, we really like him. We think this player can play multiple positions for us. We obviously know he's a good player against the run, but we also think we can get some three-down, play out of him too, and get some rush.
Okay. The NFL trying to have as much business as usual this week, with the calendar year starting despite the challenges from the coronavirus. Speaking of challenges, another benefit from the Schobert signing, Myles Jack is back to the outside, probably where he should be if he wants to excel using his skill set. Jack seems to have his best numbers when he's not in the middle of the defense. He's able to use his athletic ability and speed to make plays. He returns to a spot, I don't really return, he's never played the weak side, but he's been on the outside before when he teamed up with Paul Posluszny in 2017. By the way, does this Schobert guy remind you of someone? We mentioned a name that Paul Posluszny. Let's not get carried away, but let's also look at the tail of the tape. And, well, similar, of course, because they're middle linebackers. That's not a surprise. But look at the 2016 of Paul Posluszny, and then look at the 2019 of Joe Schobert. Well, equal in the amount of tackles with 133 of them. Schobert can also get to the quarterback and be around the ball with interceptions as well. So this could be one of those rare signings that improves the team at two different positions and maybe even deeper than that. It not only brings the Joe Show to the middle where he should solidify the defense, it also allows Jack to get back to a position on the outside, but even a new position, the weak side. And if you talk to a lot of folks that know football, they said this weak side linebacker spot where Telvin Smith used to occupy will be the best position for Myles Jack to use the skill set. Couple of things to remember before we award Joe the NFL Defensive Player of the Year and get crazy. Cleveland did let him walk in free agency. That's always a red flag. Most refer to that as fool's gold, and the Browns were actually worse than the Jaguars in terms of against the run a season ago. Cleveland was 30th in the league, allowing 144 yards plus per game. The Jags 28th at 139. And that's with those 4 games where Jacksonville allowed teams to rush for more than 200 yards. Still, the general take on bringing in Schobert, a positive one for Jacksonville in 2020, a lot because of the domino effect it has.
Action Sports Jax Primetime, Saturday at 10:30 on Fox 30.